Me and Callum, we were working together on site analysis. He's done then a document about site analysis. I've done shadow analysis. We've just kind of come up with floor plan that we're both happy with. So right now we're just working on the positions of the windows, how the solar panels would come into the design, the materials on the exterior. I've done build-ups and new values, interstitial condensation, because we need to do net zero building. I was looking into technology, so electricity, how to get toilets, because we don't have any toilets on our site. Yeah, so then now we're just basically working on trying to get some type of a final design in the next 2 weeks, and then start modeling and rendering.
My role has been very research heavy recently, researching manufacturers and the Construction Scotland Innovation Centre and what their availability is, and the design team produced a stud wall mock-up. So I've been researching materials sourcing for that and trying to get grips on the project.
Yeah, so I've been working with Zarya for the last few weeks. We've kind of finished our site analysis. That took a wee bit longer than we planned, but we were trying with the site analysis to look both at the surrounds of the site and also kind of inspiration for the design that we can take forward, and use a site that we think is a really good site, and it's got a lot of potential, but through looking at the kind of inspiration and the surroundings of the site, we've come across a lot more restrictions that might be put on the design. So once we finished the site analysis, we moved on to our concept floor plans, and just looking at the kind of what we want the building to look like, as well as how it functions. So Zarya's been looking at a lot of the technology, and I'm trying to kind of marry that all together in a floor plan. We came across some issues with the roof. We ideally wanted it to look a different way, but because of the sun path and the way that we're probably going to have to use solar panels in the building, we've had to change that. So that's kind of some of the issues we've come up against, but we're working through it, and we were hoping to have a design sorted in the next few weeks and move forward from there. We had a little bit of inspiration from the surroundings of the site, and the kind of the history of Beecraigs having been rooted in a kind of farm, 3 farms, I believe. So we're kind of working based on that, and also trying to make the building look as if it fits in, but also stand out, and kind of striking a good balance there. So we're trying not to have too modern a looking building, but also not have a really old looking building. Yeah. So with that in mind, we were trying to maybe incorporate in inspiration from the hills and maybe put a different shape roof, but I think we've kind of dropped that idea, and we're just trying to play it simple. And because of the restrictions of kind of the sun path and the solar panels and things like that, it's slightly restricted our design, but we're both happy with the design so far, and we think it's simple, but it's going to be really functional.
So hi, at the moment I'm doing some research and procurement roads regarding off-site challenge, because it's different from inside. So I'm working on the site, so I'm doing that. I've been doing some material specification researches as well. The other thing was I'm going to start work is estimating, but we had a couple of meetings and I'm waiting on that. I cannot start ahead till we decide the size of the building. So once that is done, then I'll go ahead with that. Then I'm also working on a document with some sustainability ways that can do in long-term running of the building, such as electricity producement or other things that can be used inside, such as compost. So this and the other thing, I've been doing a lot of researches as well regarding buildings, similar buildings on the area, to have a better idea of the estimating cost. Nothing concrete because I'm waiting for the like the building sizes, minimum the sizes to be decided, the floors. Then, pardon me. Then after I can have a better idea to start to produce an estimating value.
So for the past few weeks, mainly I've been just working on the like the CDM regulations and the site constraints we have. In the brief, as mentioned, the feasibility study had mentioned about water quality issues, the park has, and focusing on the regulation for non-domestic as well. So that's pretty much I've been working on for the health and safety as well. And also in terms of this from last 1 week, I was just looking into like smart energy as well. Azaria, she shared something about smart energy as well. So I've had a look through how we can use smart energy for our site, for our building. Well, that's pretty much it. And also in terms of like any constraints for any water pollutions or anything at all. So I've had a look through that. The site has any, but it does mention this feasibility that there isn't any, but then it falls into water quality issues as well. So proving that and regulated with SEPA, how we can use SEPA into cooperating our project as well. So I've had a look through that. I'm working on a document right now for that for this week.
To move forward, like Callum and Zara's getting really doing a lot on the design, which is good. We still have some other things to do with that, which is good. And then focusing on the community and what they would like. So we've asked a couple people locally and what they would need in the space and what would be useful to help with the design before it's finalised. And also, like Callum said, looking into funding to see what's possible, because obviously the more funding that's available for the building, the better it is for the bee crakes and the more likely it is to actually go forward.